Hello. Thank you for checking out You Had Options. This episode I have Christy Senay on. She is a strongman competitor. She's done a whole bunch of stuff in the fitness world. Yeah. But I've been following her programming called Team Kremez for about a month now. It's got me back into weightlifting. I'm excited about weightlifting again. After a long time away, I lost close to 25 pounds, and it's great. I would recommend it to anybody. Go check her out on Instagram. It's Crispy Kremez, so it's at KRISPY_KREMEZ. All of her information's on there. Yeah, check me out on Instagram at youhadoptions. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy. Okay. Christy, hey, how are you?
Yes. Good, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for doing this. Have you done a whole? I know I saw you did the Hate brand podcast. Do you do a lot of podcasts?
I do them from time to time. Now that I guess I have done a lot, like over the phone and stuff, more recently. But yeah, I've been on quite a few, and they're always fun. But then it's always like, okay, we're going to talk about my life story again.
Oh yeah.
So the UMSO one was fun because Matt just kind of talked, and I got to just hang out.
Right. I for the longest time, I didn't know how to pronounce his that brand.
I know. I didn't either. So Gary, my boyfriend, like put it together for me because I knew it was HVIII,
right?
And I knew it was called Hate Brand, but for some reason, like I think this happens for a lot of people, they don't put the two together.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. They have a new podcast studio. So yeah, it was good just to hang out and talk a little bit.
Yeah.
It was long. It was like 2.5 hours. And I was like, where'd the time go?
It just slips away. Wow.
Right.
I think I initially thought it was like high five. I think that's what I thought the HV stood for.
That would make sense. That'd be smart.
Yeah. So you can't compete right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, I can. I mean, there are shows.
Are there competitions?
Going on. Yeah. There's competitions going on right now. Some depending what state it is, there's different levels of, safety protocols, whether you have to wear a mask, whether there's spectators or not. It was a few months ago, we were in Georgia for a pro men's show.
Yeah.
And Georgia's very like free for all, like whatever you want to do type thing. So a lot of people are having trouble putting together shows, just based on the state's laws and stuff like that. But World's Strongest Man actually just happened a few months ago, and they had no spectators, but they still had it. So the shows are kind of being slowly rolled out, but I definitely had a few canceled last year.
Yeah.
So I've just been chilling.
Yeah. So you're, you said, I know you said when you get on podcasts, you talk a lot about like your life story or whatever, but, so you're full-time professional fit person, right?
Well, that's not really how I get paid.
Okay.
Because like that's kind of thing. Like if I was maybe like a pro tennis player or
Right.
like a pro golfer,
Yeah.
or in the men's like NFL or something like that,
Yeah.
obviously I would be paid a lot more. I Even for like the pro men, you don't get paid like a living to be a
Right.
pro strongman.
Right.
More so in like the Highland Games actually had a little bit better pay, and then a lot of different other sports.
Yeah.
Now, like the way that I could make money is through like sponsorships, um, you know, I guess prize money and stuff like that, but it's really not a lot. It's not enough to like sustain me.
Yeah.
So what I do full time is actually how we met, which is Team Kremez. That's like group coaching.
Right.
And then, but before that, just one-on-one coaching. And before that, just personal training. So
Right.
it kind of just evolved from personal training to one-on-one virtual coaching
Yeah.
to I can also do stuff like templates and stuff like that. So that's where I make my main income.
Right.
It's not going to make you a millionaire. And then the other stuff like sponsorships, stuff like that kind of helps support my athletic career. Like,
Yeah.
it's so expensive to go travel for these shows.
Yeah.
And then also for like chiropractor and just like living or like, getting some protein powder is nice from time to time, stuff like that. But it's not a lot.
Yeah.
Even like the like the world's strongest man guys, they'll get like a lot of prize money and they'll get like a lot of more attention and sponsorships.
Right.
But women, like none. It's not really like the sexiest sport. And then guys, like, you can win a show, but it might be like, $500 to like $2,000 or something like that. And you're not going to like live off that.
Yeah.
So it's more of like pure for the passion.
The passion is driving
for the
it.
sport. Yeah. It's not.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I could have chose something a lot more lucrative.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
See, I have nothing but respect because it seems like it's 100% hustle. Like,
Yeah, it is. You gotta be like the person. You gotta be the right person who's like, okay, like no one's just gonna give me money, right?
Right.
Like, how can I? And that's like the struggle with a lot of people. A lot of people right now are like I'm taking my passion, my hobby, and making it a job.
Yeah.
And like that's what I've done, but it's like that's my whole life now.
Right.
But I like it, and I think like doing group coaching types things kind of reignited that fire of like I love doing this. I like to like help a lot of people and like see that community grow and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm lucky that I became an online coach before all this pandemic and stuff happened.
You're set up for it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So we started emailing because I've been doing your programming through Team Kremez, like you said, and it's great. I love it. It's
yeah, and you lost like 20 pounds, right?
Yeah. Just changing my diet, not eating like an asshole.
I was gonna say, I was gonna ask you in the email. I was like, I might as well just ask him.
Yeah.
What have you changed about your diet?
My diet was so bad. How bad was it? It was so bad. I actually went to my doctor and she was like, we haven't done a blood test in a while, so let's just do a blood test. I was like, okay. And so she got it back and I felt like, do you watch My 600-Pound Life?
Yes, I was near to say that. I do. I hate the fact that I'm into those shows, but I am.
It's
because
tough.
It's like
it's tough.
It's very interesting, but you can't stop watching.
It's tough
just
to look away. Yeah.
It's so tough to look away. And 1,000-Pound Sisters, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Watching YouTube like all the time. But yeah, keep going.
But yeah, I felt like in that moment when she was giving me back my like blood test results, I felt like what Dr. Now, like I was getting read down by Dr. Now, just because she was just like, your cholesterol is terrible, and like you don't want to have a stroke or a heart attack, at 32. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So so I pretty much started using this meal prep company, Factor.
Okay, cool.
And so they it's all, what I'm doing is their keto route. And so I hate cooking. I'm terrible at like meal prep. And so they have the meals already made and they just send them to you. So I've just been eating. Yeah. pretty.
That's the one thing though. It's like people, it sucks because people like either like, okay, well, if you don't want to do the cooking and meal prep, you're gonna have to look outside of that. And like you took it like into your own hands and like did it. Like, okay, well, I can't cook it.
Right.
So, you know, and it sucks because it's like an extra expense, but also it's like cheers to you because it's like a lot of people won't do that.
Yeah.
And that's why those things are out there. So that's good. That's what I was like, you know, I was telling, you know, I was bragging about you. I was like, oh, this guy lost 20 pounds, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I know it wasn't all my programming. He had to change his diet. So I'm excited to see what he's doing.
Yeah.
So like that, I think it's the most important thing is you pick something, you're sticking to it.
Right.
And seeing the results and stuff like that. And I don't think some people get doctor's results and they don't change anything either.
Yeah.
And like, it takes that scare is not even enough. So that's kind of like a cheers to you. Like, it's just like, all right. And then once you make a change, it's like, oh, well, I can do this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Have you gotten your blood work again at all or seen any changes?
I haven't. I'm probably going to wait like a month or two to get blood work again just to let everything settle out. But I've, you know, this sounds just so stupid just saying it, but it's taken me so long because I've been training one way or another for like 16 years now since I was, 16, 17. And just diet was never my thing. I was just like, I didn't understand how important it was up until, I wish it hit me, 10 years ago, but here we are.
The important thing is that it hit you though.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm always like, oh man, I'm just learning to do this, like this like life skill. And it's like, well, I feel like some people never approach that stage. So it's like, all right, that's fine. So that's good. I mean, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, thanks.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna use that. I'm using your testimonial.
Do it.
So.
Yeah,
so thank you.
Yeah, and your programming, it's great. Like I said in the email, it's approachable with intensity, if that makes sense,
Yeah, I think, and it was kind of hard for me to kind of like put one thing together.
Right.
It's kind of like, I'm a creative person, so it's always kind of like putting together like a painting or like a puzzle, almost like when I'm programming, because it has to be like for the right type of person.
Yeah.
And then like you kind of have to stick to that like theme. And then also you can have like fun with it. So like I love it.
Yeah. It's great.
It's cool.
Yeah. Because I've done I've bought templates from some people before, and it's just the exercises are insane. Like almost like, oh, you have to be like a actual professional athlete to be doing some of this stuff. I don't know. And but yeah, it's great. I would suggest it to anybody.
Like do a one-handed push-up.
Yeah, it's like
and then like a handstand push-up, and then jump up to a bar and do toes to bar.
Yeah,
well, that's why I like strength training so much. You can just keep it simple.
Yeah.
I make it interesting with other ways,
Right.
So that's kind of what you can do.
Yeah. I've never done curtsy lunges before. I felt very fancy.
A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
I know. Were you the one who said they were fancy?
Something like a regal lunge or something.
You're like, that made me laugh. Okay. Yeah. Now it's all coming together.
Yeah.
You called a curtsy lunge like you've never felt. I don't know.
It's refined, something like that.
The most refined lunge or something. That's hilarious. I'm like, I wish I would have thought of that. Yeah. That was funny.
There you go. You can you can use it. I'll let you have that one.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, it's great. And it was like perfect timing for me to get back into dieting. And then I'd been following you on Instagram for a while, I don't know, a year or something. And so I was just like, well, let me just try this out. And it's just been clicking. So yeah, it's been great.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's like, what state was I living in when you first followed me? Was I in LA?
Yeah, it might have been California. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I feel like there's like different stages of my life. I'm like, all right, which person did you first meet?
Are there's signposts and it's by state in your life?
Right. Yes. That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Alabama, in Mobile.
Alabama. Cool.
Yeah. It's like 2 hours from New Orleans.
Okay. Do you know how far it's from Greenville, South Carolina?
I don't.
I don't even know where I am right now.
Is that?
I've lived here for 6 months,
okay.
And I love it. But yeah, I don't know anywhere. I'm like, Mobile, Alabama seems like it might be kind of close.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
South Carolina, Alabama.
10, 12 hours, something like that,
Oh,
maybe.
that's so far.
Yeah, I don't know. Uh, have you ever competed out of the country in any fashion?
I've been out of the country, but I have never um, been out of the country, but I've never been competed out of the country.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about doing some type of like stone lifting, like
Ooh.
overseas, but um, I feel like that would take away from whatever goals I have right now. Like I want to compete because that would be like mostly just stones, but I want to like keep growing myself in just like all around strongman and go to nationals, go to the Arnold again and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So eventually there's also like competitions in like South Africa and all these places I want to go. They have
Okay.
all different Arnolds around, but like I this year for sure now.
Yeah.
But I even thought about it. I was like, all right, well, I could go to like Norway this year. And then it's like, no, because then you spend all the money doing that. And it's just, I mean, it's for the experience, yeah, but
Right.
I'm maybe in a couple of years.
Yeah. So you switched from powerlifting to strongman, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was that like a was that like conscious, like, or was that like a gradual move over?
So I mean, they definitely have some like similar elements.
Right.
But I was doing powerlifting. I was really like into it, you know, and I got really burnt out. Like
Yeah.
during a prep, it was for the LA Fit Expo 2019, which was in like the very beginning of 2019. And I just got like super burnt out by it and I was kind of bored.
Yeah.
And so there I had a coach previously who like would like program farmer carries and yoke and stuff, and I really liked that. And I didn't do them properly at all,
Mm.
but I still did them, and I liked them. And that's what I kind of thought strongman was. And there was like a CrossFit gym that had like these two women. There were two like masters women who would train strongman, and I started training with them. And I was in LA, and was like, oh, I'll do a strongman show for fun.
Yeah.
And of course, I like loved the training for it, so I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing this now.
This is
So
my thing
it
now.
kind of, yeah, because I'm kind of just like all in, you
Yeah.
know, like it's, and then I could, you know, once I competed once, I was like, oh, okay, I could see myself doing this, you know, like I've done it,
Yeah.
you know, like, now let's keep going. So that was like a little bit intimidating though, because my whole entire client base are powerlifters.
Mm.
I don't program strongmen. Like I don't know how.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know the basics, but to go to like a meet prep, if like a client wants to go to a show, I'm like, all right, you know, let's transfer out. So with the like, you know, I was thinking, I was like, oh, I hope my clients will think I'm abandoning them, which now I think is really silly.
Yeah.
You know, it's
But at the time, yeah.
and also like then you go back to you go to the bottom of the totem pole. You don't really know how you stack up. You can't even do some movement. So that was definitely a big decision. But also it's like, you know, now that I do strongman, it's like, no offense, powerlifters, I feel like I could go back anytime and it'd be a lot easier for me just because my work capacity is like higher and I can kind of handle a little bit more.
Yeah.
Um, but I'd be like, I feel like I'd recover. Like I'd be like, wow, I'm recovering so much better.
Yeah.
You know, like once you get like beat up in strongman, then like other things don't feel as bad. Like, oh well, it's like 5 sets of 5, like that's not a big deal, you know. So
What's the is recently, has there been where you've just been like, I'm just beat to shit from strongman?
yeah, I definitely like, okay, so like there was a time in the last year that like I had to kind of back off the really heavy weights.
Mm.
So I wouldn't be super beat up. I would do like more like stuff that's like Team Kremez style, like power building,
Yeah.
you know, strength training, like really, so I would get sore, but I would never feel just like, whoa,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And now sometimes I like that feeling, unless I'm feeling injured.
Yeah.
But definitely in March, like at around the Arnold of 2020, I felt like shit all the time, just like super beat up,
Yeah.
and just kind of injured as well. Just my back was acting up.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I definitely like that feeling. It's like a good balance. Like last night we had like a strongman day, and I got home and I was like, I actually feel fine. And then like I laid down on the couch and like watched some forgot what I was watching now, but it's not important. But I was watching some TV
Yeah.
and I was like just like falling asleep. I fell
It's
asleep
broken. Yeah.
and I was just like, this is a good feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. I bought one of those massage guns. And it
Yeah,
has
I
changed
did
my
too
life.
recently.
Yeah.
It's so great
Yeah.
because like no one ever wants to give you a massage. It's like so like like we'll do it like if someone really like has like a knot around here, but like it just feels so good. You could just do it yourself.
Right. And
It's great.
it's a machine and it's just beating you up. It's great.
And they're getting better. Like the cheaper ones nowadays are getting better.
Yeah.
Like because there's like really expensive ones,
Right.
and now the like ones that are like the mid range are like way better than they used to be.
Yeah.
Because my mom gave me one that she got probably from like I don't know. She like loves sales, and it just like kind of like vibrated. It
Didn't do anything.
It was like way too light.
Yeah.
And with people who like lift and they have like muscle, it's
Gotta
like
get in there.
you can't feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Do you you said you go to a chiropractor?
I haven't been in a while.
Yeah.
But I was going a lot. I was going for when I was in LA for decompression therapy just because I have herniated disc and I was in a lot of pain. So just like to like spread all that out because everything was just kind of like cramped in. And that was just to kind of treat the pain a little bit. But since then I've been in physical therapy. I've been to chiropractor. And I was doing that kind of regularly, but now I kind of like eased off just for my bank account and also because I feel better because I've been doing more like core stuff and I've been slowly building back up. So I've kind of like reset my foundation.
Yeah.
I think chiropractors are good for like pain management and kind of upkeep, but it's not going to really fix anything.
That's true.
Like you kind of have to fix it with a bunch of things. It can help.
Right.
But I needed it.
Do you watch the chiropractor videos on YouTube?
No, I don't. I don't even like getting. It's scary to be cracked. Like I hate being cracked. Like my neck is like whatever. You go to a chiropractor?
No, they scare me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary. But they don't like. I would go to chiropractors who'd also do like soft tissue work and like active release therapy and they would mostly do the cracking, but so I was going to one like every 2 weeks here, and now I've kind of like backed off just a little bit.
Yeah.
Although I'd like to go, it's like kind of like, all right, now I need to, spend my recovery money on this instead, or I kind of split it up a little bit.
Yeah, I think the reason why I like those videos, or I don't know, I think it's hitting the same thing in my brain that like the Dr. Pimple Popper videos do, or something, like that.
So you watch them. Yes. But you don't. It scares you.
It's too scary.
Yeah. So I feel like, God, I like the Dr. Pimple Popper videos, but like not if they're too gross.
Really?
Actually, I don't like them.
Yeah.
I've decided I don't like them. I don't like medical stuff. But I get it.
Oh shit. Yeah, it's like a weird tension release. Maybe that's the thing. My mic fell off.
Oh no.
Do you do any like yoga? Is that a thing in your?
That's a thing. I mean, yoga is not like, oh my God, you do yoga. Like, it's not like strength sport people are like against yoga. I think it's great. Do I do it? It's like, where do I fit it in my day?
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
But I do mobility every day. Just like in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
There's certain like stretches or like positions I'll go, and I guess you can kind of consider it. Some might be yoga poses as well, but it's not like I'm like actively doing yoga.
You're not greeting the day,
no, I'm not greeting the day, and I like it, but it's like I just couldn't make myself do it at home.
I gotcha.
I'm like, I'm not gonna go to a class.
Yeah. What's I gonna say? You said you're talking about like companies like sponsoring you. Has there ever been one like really weird company that you wouldn't have thought reach out to you?
There's like so many every day, just because like influencer marketing's like so much cheaper than the traditional marketing. Right. So like everyone wants to get on it. So like you might be on a list and put on like a mass email list for whatever. But I did get a I did get an offer from like it was actually like seemed like it didn't seem like a sleazy company. It seemed like very like empowering and like classy, whatever, but it was for vibrators.
Okay.
And they contacted me, but I just ignored the email just because I was like, this has nothing to do with my content.
Yeah.
Like whatever. Yeah. So, but yeah, I get a lot of, but it's mostly the same stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same stuff, but I would say like it's probably the weirdest one recently, just because like nothing on my page is really about sex. So it was like, all right.
Yeah.
Thanks for considering me.
For sure. That was one thing I was going to bring up, that like sometimes following some people, like some whatever fitness life people influence in that realm, it's like too sometimes it's like too much of like try hardness, if that makes sense. And one thing I like about you is that it's not like, you can tell that like your personality is going into what you're putting out there, instead of just like straight up like ads or whatever, you know?
Yeah. I would say like that's just like a hard balance too, because I mean, it's it also like to be comfortable putting your personality out there. Like I realized recently that like Instagram posts are kind of more curated, right? So whether or not I'm doing like a hashtag ad, or I'm doing something that's supposed to be educational and teach you guys something, like, and I want to add value to my page and have people learn something. It's a little bit like more nerve-wracking when I make it than like a story is like uncurated, and like I feel like I put my personality in that more. And I kind of wish that I could figure out how to, you know, combine those a little bit. But I don't. If it, like the posts are a little bit more thought out, and whatever. But yeah, there's definitely, that's one thing. It's like it's definitely hard to balance
for sure.
But I mean, it's not like it's hashtag first world problems.
Yeah, that's true.
But I appreciate that, because it's like there's just so many ways you can go, and like I at least want someone getting something from what I'm getting out there. So like either one, not putting anything super negative out there
for sure
that I think is harmful for people. You know, that's open up for interpretation always. And then also two, that some leaves there with something, at least like a piece of information or motivation or whatever. You know, but then I have to remind myself it's not the end of the world if I like fuck up, because people can just unfollow me, you know. And I'm like, there's worse things in the world, you know. But I also don't want to disappoint people by putting out too many ads and stuff. I've definitely been getting more opportunities lately, so it's like more of like, all right, if I'm gonna put out more ads or like stuff, which are always products that I like love and use, because that's why I have that connection, then I need to put out more of my content to balance it. So that's kind of like the deal I've given myself.
It's cool. It's, you know, I know a lot goes into it, or a lot of thinking goes into it, you know, and it's like you were saying, I imagine it's difficult to kind of walk the line, I guess.
And then it's like I put all this time in my Instagram, which is one hand giving me access to my clients. That's how I find my clients, and they find me. But also it's like, well, maybe I messed up and didn't go to YouTube because like that's who makes the money. So it's like, you know, if we're talking about in money terms, it's like, oh, well, I like this platform, and this is how I like to communicate through like shorter clips or shorter pictures and like a caption, rather than like longer form stuff there and like editing and stuff. So it's just been interesting, because like it just kind of turned into more marketing Instagram just as the years have gone. You know
what? But you guys have a YouTube channel, you and Gary, right?
Yeah, we have a YouTube channel. We made that, and we still like are doing it, but it's mostly for now just for fun. And I do all the editing, and
Okay.
it's like I also do all my own editing for everything else. So
Damn.
it's like the, third priority.
Yeah.
And it's also we're running out of ideas. So if anyone has any ideas, let us know. Because it's
Sure.
also just like to think about like, okay, people would care about this, or what do people want to know? You don't want to like just be like, it's not something you think about like someone would care about.
Right.
But like then I think of the YouTube videos that I watch, and it's like this person, like if it's just crazy, like I watch like the stupidest stuff on
What
YouTube.
what are
So
some
it's
what are
like,
some of your YouTube guilty
oh my god,
pleasures?
I watch like all like the makeup artist drama. I watch the Jeffree Star drama.
Okay.
I watch all that YouTuber drama, like updates and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I also watch like Thousand Pound Sisters. Um, yeah, I watch a lot of like fitness influencers that like fight with like there's like the body positivity people, and then like the other fitness influencers who think body positivity movement's bad. Like I'll watch like all these different types of things.
Yeah.
People I'll watch the people responding to um like certain like super conservative
Yeah.
people that like YouTube, and just like there's so much like
Yeah.
this, but it's just like background noise sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's just like the whole like reality TV thing. Like I like these, like it's weird. Like
Yeah.
I didn't start watching YouTube till like this year, and of course like when if I'm actually watching YouTube, like if I'm doing mobility, Gary and I are doing mobility, it'll be like um Martines, or like Thor or Shaw Strength,
Yeah.
all the, or like Squat University, like
Yeah.
learning stuff. There's good stuff I watch.
Yeah.
But if it's just like, you put on like a podcast, so it's like maybe just like silly.
Yeah.
This is kind of how it is. Like I'm just used to always listening to something. So
Yeah.
instead of music now, I listen to like makeup drama on YouTube. Just weird.
Yeah. I didn't realize how big of a universe like the makeup world is, especially
It's
on
huge.
YouTube.
I'm like, I picked the wrong universe. I think like these YouTubers are just like have insane influence and power.
Yeah.
And Jeffree Star, I saw him at a show in St. Louis at the Creepy Crawl when he was
Doing music.
like doing music.
Wow, that is MySpace days.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I saw him when he was actually an artist. I like his music. I don't think so. I don't think I remember. Like I think he was just like a band I knew was like opening for him, which I don't like that band either anymore right now. I think they're dumb, but I forgot what they're called. But I mean, I was like 15, so
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just funny because now he's like always says this insane drama. There was just like a rumor that him and Kanye were together. All this stuff.
Damn it!
Like,
I wish it was true. I wish that was true.
I know. I wish it was true so bad, but also it's just like, and that's the thing. It's just like, that's it. There's YouTube, and then there's my Instagram page where I'm like, do this exercise, and I'm like,
Yeah. We I went to we went to England in 2019 with my band, and we went to this pinball place, and I didn't realize Jeffree Star was a big pinball person, and so they were like, "Oh," I told them like, "We're a band from America," and they're like, "Oh, let's get a picture for our Hall of Fame," and the only other person was Jeffree Star, and so it was just like a bizarre,
hilarious.
Yeah, bizarre.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, I can't escape him.
Same. I know he's all over my YouTube page.
What music have you been listening to recently? Like, who's a big artist on rotation?
So it's funny because like since I've moved here, I've been listening a lot of like older music.
Right.
Like I've just been listening to Nine Inch Nails.
Okay.
And I also like kind of started listening to country for a second, like just a little bit.
Yeah.
Which it never happened before.
Country's good.
But and then also Mostly at the gym Slipknot, because that's like the only like um it's one, it's gym music, and then
Right.
two, it's kind of like gym music everyone can all agree on.
It's true.
So there's like at the one of the gyms I go to, it's always just Rage Against the Machine or Slipknot, which I feel like both are good.
Yeah.
But like when you hear them every day,
It gets
like
old. Yeah.
Rage the Machine gets old, but Slipknot kind of stays for me.
Ooh, nice.
So that's what I've decided. Now with new bands and stuff, it's crazy because like I'll hear like a lot of new hardcore music that like I come out and I never like will like dive into it anymore.
Yeah.
But I feel like the last hardcore band that I liked that like I don't even know if it's newer, but like got popular recently was Queensway. I think they're a band from Australia.
Okay.
But I like them a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was definitely grew up liking like scene kid music, and then I liked hardcore, and now I just listen to Nine Inch Nails.
It's the natural progression, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of Outcast
Yeah.
and other other upbeat music.
Gotcha. I think.
And then like podcasts in the car. It because I used to work in the gym, and I used to work at this gym called Rockwell Barbell. They'd play like my favorite music all day, all along, as loud as possible.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. So I just started to listen to like podcasts in the car, or talk radio instead of music.
Yeah.
And I kind of just like got a habit of listening to music, really, like in the car and stuff. And then while I train now, I don't even listen to music. Like if it's at the gym, I'll like listen to it. But if there's not, it doesn't matter. It's not like I'm in really control of the music.
Yeah.
So I don't put on headphones or anything like that, because I'm mostly Gary and I are going back and forth. Oops, about our like sorry, that's being gross. Cool. We're going back and forth about like technique and all that stuff. So like the other day, like last night, like I realized like my intensity has been gone by lifting, because I just started to get really heavy again, like going heavy again. So like putting like they were like listening, what were they listening to at the gym last night? It was like oldies or something, and I'm like, cool, but like that's like for like chilling or hanging out.
Yeah.
And so then I switched it to like some like rap song that was next on the playlist. It's because I needed like some energy and hype up, and like I feel like that's why I was always so hype at like, because I could be like, all right, let's put on some Giant Fetus and I'll like do my squat. And then like now I'm like, all right, I don't care, like there's no really emotion behind it or like energy behind it. But now I'm getting that back again.
Nice.
Like for a while, it was like I really had to focus on like what I was doing rather than just like attacking it for fun, you know, like and going crazy. So that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. What were some of your hardcore bands growing up? Or
well, I was mostly into hardcore when I moved to Chicago, and so like Harm's Way was a big band there. And Weekend Nachos, and The Killer, and stuff like that. But like I think like the first like hardcore band is what I was like into was Folsom, which was out of Vegas. And so I kind of was really into like the Chicago hardcore scene and that scene. And I still love all that music.
The Weekend Nachos played this little garage in Mobile when I was 18, maybe 19, and I bought one of their shirts, and their shirt said "Not Weekend Nachos" on the front, and on the back it said "Defeat the Christian Right." I didn't realize that's what it said on the back, and so
you're walking around in Mobile, Alabama. Just like
my mom was not pleased with that shirt for sure, but
it's hilarious. I went to their very last show in Chicago, and it was really fun. And like I answered a question like a few days ago, or like a couple weeks ago on Gary and my YouTube, like what's the best show you've gone to? And I forgot about this. That was like the best show I've ever been to. Ever was their last show. And it was really cool.
Wow. I remember when Harm's Way first started, like I would see stuff on MySpace, of course, but you know, it was just they got this jack dude in a ski mask, and that was like their big thing. I know he's still jacked, but yeah, well, yeah, I haven't thought about those bands in a while.
Right. Well, that really started a lot of people in the Chicago hardcore community and around, like James from Harm's Way
Mm-hmm.
powerlifted, and so it kind of inspired a lot of people.
Yeah,
Which so that probably inspired my friends, which inspired me.
yeah,
Like that was cool now, right?
yeah,
So I guess I have him to thank a little bit,
yeah,
maybe for starting the trend.
yeah. Um, yeah. What was? Do you remember what made you want to get into powerlifting? And
So I was already got into lifting.
yeah,
And I like lost like 25 pounds. So I was like tiny and I was like really into hit workouts and like
mm,
bodybuilding type workouts. And then I just went to a powerlifting meet of like two acquaintances. And I just thought it looked awesome. I just
yeah,
thought like everyone was like really intense and like I was like kind of had that like confidence at that time because I was like super young and just like didn't know like, oh, I could do
let's
that,
go
you
for it.
know.
Yeah,
So I did.
hell yeah,
And I was like addicted.
yeah. Well, it's yeah, lifting heavy shit is fun, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah, you just pick it up, put it back down. You can tell that you're improving very easily as the numbers go up.
yeah,
And so it's super simple
yeah.
and awesome.
I I tried to buy one of those one of those new orange lifting belts from Slingshot, the Mark
Hmm.
Bell belt, the Home Depot lifting belt. But yeah, it's I guess I'm the average size of somebody who wanted it because it's all sold out.
All sold out.
Yeah,
Darn it.
yeah. I know. I just remember I saw it must have been on one of your stories or something that you're using it.
Or the giveaway.
Yeah,
Or the, yeah, there's a lever belt. So I've always used a lever belt.
yeah,
You just kind of strap on. Super easy for powerlifting. But since I do strongman, it's sometimes easier to have a soft belt and then you can stack over you could stack over technically a lever belt, but you can stack one up that's just like the regular prong one and kind of like pad it up so it's like extra, you can like
wow,
put stuff on it,
yeah,
stuff like that. So yeah, there's that's one thing. It's like my gym bag's so full of stuff because it's like you need like 14 different pairs of shoes for strongman. It's like sometimes you're lifting, sometimes you're running, sometimes
wow,
you need something super flat.
yeah,
Sometimes you need your Olympic shoes. Sometimes you're doing front squats. Sometimes you need this belt, this belt.
yeah,
You need this tacky. You need this. So it's like a lot of stuff.
yeah. Is is Shaw gonna box Thor?
No, Eddie Hall
Eddie
is.
Hall. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That when is that next year or this year?
That is this year in September, I think, around the time of the Olympia. And there's also like a different strongman show I want to go.
Yeah,
And so I'm going to go. I probably won't be able to get tickets to the fight,
yeah,
but I want to go see like the strongman show that's going on and be around that environment. It'd be funny.
yeah, yeah. I guess the thing now is people who aren't boxers saying, "Let's just have a boxing match," and
I know. I mean, I'm interested. I think it's so dumb, but I also like can't wait to watch it.
right? Yeah, it's like the Logan Paul fights and all that
I
stuff.
know, like what? It's like what? I know. And that I know about because of YouTube. I'm also just like never really followed.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's just crazy. And it's just show like they're gonna make a lot more money doing that than they ever would have done strongman.
for sure. Yeah. Um. Yeah, we've gone like 45 minutes here. Yeah. We so yeah, I posted that you're going to be on and to send me questions. I'm gonna check. And
Like one question. Like, send me a picture of your foot.
well, not it was I mean it's close. It was some gentleman and he just sent a bunch of hearts. So yeah. But to be fair, I don't have a big reach. So, do you,
So I got sent love.
yeah. Well, I saw you have a comments video on y'all's YouTube channel of just like the insane shit that gets sent to you. It's not funny that one that made me laugh. It's not funny that it got sent, but just the content of the one where it's like, what what does it sound when you fart or something like that?
Yeah,
I was just like, Jesus Christ.
I don't even remember that one, but like there's like, yeah, they're funny.
Yeah.
Above all, they're funny. They're just like hard to filter through sometimes.
I bet. Yeah.
But yeah, they're funny.
Yeah. So
I mean, there's nothing. They're like ridiculous, and like a lot of times there's like language barrier too. So like the translation, it's like you could blame a lot of it on the translation too. So it's like whatever.
Right.
There's nothing that like they would only truly piss me off if someone I knew said it. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure. So Gary Biceps, he has a pretty good presence too. Does he get any weird like messages like that?
Not that I really know of.
He's not getting asked for feet pics or used socks.
Not that I really know of. I do hang out with, or I did used to train with a lot of strongmen who would get a lot of those types. They were like really tall, large guys.
Yeah.
And they would get a lot of requests for like used underwear and used socks.
Yeah.
And one of them sent used underwear at one point, and it just wasn't worth it because he was like for like
the hassle of the sending
$30 and going to DHL and like sending it.
Tracking
and that's
number.
The thing, though. I don't have like any problem when people do that, but it seems like a very big hassle.
Right.
And takes away from like the time I could be like doing other things.
Right, for sure.
So I don't have a problem with it. It would have to be like a very large offer for me to go to a post office ever.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that was a good video. I enjoyed it.
Good. Yeah. So I just think it's like it's fun to it was kind of fun to like those are all just from like it wasn't like I compiled them over like a month. It was like all like, okay, I want to do this video. Let me like be aware like the next 2 days and screenshot whatever weird stuff I see because I don't keep my notifications on much. So it's like, you know, a lot of times like I'll post something, I'll kind of respond to comments, stuff like that, and then like I'll like move on with my day.
Yeah.
So sometimes I won't see like shit people say anyway.
Right.
But if my notifications are on, like while we were talking, I saw my notification on. I saw one pop up and I forget what it said. But it was like mean. but I forgot. I was like read it. I was like, oh,
you're over it. You're desensitized to the weird comments. I was
like, what?
Yeah.
I forgot. But yeah, Gary. I got a few weird emails about Gary, like from like a weird incel-y guy.
Oh man.
Like, oh, Gary's not even great. Like,
he doesn't love you like I could love you, Christy. Yeah.
It was weird. But yeah, he hasn't got any much weird because you would think you'd get more. But yeah, he doesn't. Not that I know of.
Yeah.
He would tell me, but like I don't think it's that bad yet.
Yeah.
But wow. I know a lot of other guys in strongman get them a lot.
Yeah. Interesting. Ooh, bunch of weirdos out there.
So many.
So many. And they all have phones and the internet.
They all have phones.
Yeah. But yeah, cool. Do you have any closing remarks or any deep wisdom to?
Deep wisdom. Well, I don't really know much about your audience yet. Yeah. If anyone wants to lift weights, you should.
I love it. That's good.
Do it. Because at one time, I didn't.
Yeah.
And one time you didn't.
That's true.
Do that. And you can check me out at crispy_creams.
Yeah.
And if you ever want a free week trial of the program that you're doing,
do it.
The link's in the bio.
There you go.
See you there. You can chat. I'll make you do curtsy lunges. Fancy lunges.
Fancy lunge. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, stay on for a second, but I'm gonna say, Christy, you had options, but you decided to talk to me. I appreciate it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Excellent.
Thank you.
Sweet.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.